my hometown is being represented here. It's Tommy in Staten Island, New York. What's up? The Rock here in the house. How are you, Tommy?
Good. How are you, Rich?
I'm fine. Where in the island do you live?
West Brighton.
Okay. I'm from Willowbrook. Go figure
I'm
that.
right around the corner from Jody's. Remember that pool?
Of course. Very
Yes. Wanted to call about John Mara. I'm sick of him.
What?
No.
Okay, Tommy, go for it.
He messed up last year with the whole Davis-Webb Eli thing. Lost a third-round pick because they cut Webb because they don't know what he can do. And then just this year, it's just after one thing after another with them. It all falls on him.
Well, I hear you, Tommy, but let's walk through this year, okay? Just let's talk about this year. Last year, we can put a pin in for the moment. But, I mean, going ahead and getting Solder in the offseason was exactly what the Giants needed because it got the Eric Flowers situation off the front burner, and you're getting Tom Brady's protector. I mean, what better stock can you get for your approaching 40-year-old quarterback, right? So you get him, and would you have not taken Saquon Barkley? I mean, I'm so
torn. I was torn at the draft. I'm torn now.
And here's what I'll tell you this, Tommy. Don't be torn now. And even though I have so many people that I respect, I think Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network falls in this category of take the quarterback when you can and then take the pass rusher the next time.
He does.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I still think Saquon Barkley is going to be so delightful, and he's such a good person and exactly the face-front person that you want in New York City for 10, 15 years. That's great. And if it doesn't work out this year with Eli, go back. So these kids that are coming out next year at quarterback, I think are just as good. So
but with Solder, I'm always leery about guys Belichick doesn't bring back.
Interesting, Tommy.
Really, Belichick knows. And has Brady been touched this year? Has he really been?
Well, part of
left side?
Part of that too is that he knows when to get rid of the football, and thanks for the call, Tommy. And their scheme's better. Now, Shermer, is that the answer? That's the question. So far, he's been handling the heat apparently very well. Odell, as we all know, is the shiny object that's going to get everybody's attention. Defensively, they've got problems. Offensive line they need to work out still. Saquon is not the issue. The issue might be that Eli, under the current construct of that offensive line and the scheme that's being brought, whether he feels that he could check out or can't, I don't know what's happening. I'll be very honest. But if it doesn't work out for Eli over the next 10 games, then the Giants need to figure out the most graceful exit strategy for him because he deserves it. And then go into next year with a top 5 pick. It'll be very difficult to sit through the next 10 games, but you'll get through it, and you'll see which kid might come in. And he might turn out to be better than Darnold. You never know. Who knows? Who the hell knew that Patrick Mahomes, when the Chiefs traded up to get him, would be as good as he is right now? If you've got the right coach and the right scheme and the right kid, then off you go. And Saquon Barkley is a perfect guy to have for your new rookie quarterback.
Yeah, Eli's not a kid.
But keep Eli upright, and I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see 1 in 5 coming. I didn't see the return of the McAdoo. I
want to ask you this about Eli's legacy. Like, what takes a bigger hit to Eli's legacy if he stays in for the rest of the season and keeps playing poorly, or if he gets benched again?
Benched again would be the tough one. Certainly if Kyle Lauletta's not ready. And all you got to do is take a look at Nate Peterman to see someone who's not ready and see what happens to somebody's career when they're not ready. That's it. Now, that's the nightmare scenario, is that some kid that you really like, who's got a huge upside, who's got good makeup, good quality, good arm, good head on his shoulders, gets out there and throws an interception an interception 11% of the time. Suddenly that guy's a washout. Or my buddy David Carr, the NFL Network. Great makeup, great arm, great head on his shoulders, great everything. Sacked 60 times. See ya. That's the concern for Kyle Lauletta. I mean, you want to take the kid from Richmond, roll the dice with this scheme and this offensive line, and the scheme can work. I mean, it worked last year for Case Keenum, for crying out loud. With all due respect. I know you laugh when I say with all due respect. The Giants, they're at Atlanta this week. They're not making the move, obviously. Let's just say after the bye. Let's say they lose the next two. They lose at Atlanta and they lose home against Washington. Let's say Washington comes in and spanks them.
Possible.
And they're 1-7.
Very possible.
Here comes the bye. Then you figure, okay, let's get Lauletta up and running for the final 8. Final half of the season. At San Francisco, home for Tampa. At Philly, home for Chicago. At Washington, home for Tennessee. At Indianapolis, which is a Saturday game, and the home for Dallas. See what he can do? See what you have going into next year's draft?
But the
potentially, but him being benched, Eli going over these next 10 games will still, over the next 10 games, still have some quality games because he's still, here's the worst word you can use. Serviceable. Okay. Yeah. The second worst word is solid. Yeah. Okay. He hasn't lost, the ability to read a defense in real time and scheme somebody into the proper situation with a matchup that's to your advantage. He hasn't lost that ability at all. So he's still, they're not going to go 1-15 with Eli Manning. I don't think. I'm going to say that. I still believe that. I still can't believe that he would be totally useless to the point where they're 1-15, that Barkley himself wouldn't be able to win a game, that Odell would be able to get at least 150-50 ball a couple of games and see how it goes, that they could lose with the defense getting healthier.
I think we're going to find out. We're going to find out on Monday.
But here's
the Falcons are susceptible to being put upon points, yardage. We saw Jameis do it.
Here's Eli Manning's legacy, though. Bench or not. Here's Eli. His legacy is 2 championships. 2.
I think that's getting washed away right now.
It's not washed away. It will never get washed away. It will always be there. Those rings will never be taken. It's the exact. You're the person trying to when the players say no one can ever take this away from me. You're the person who's trying to take it away from them.
But I'm also saying that was 8 years ago.
So what?
That they won the Super Bowl.
So what? So the legacy is he's got 2 of them. And he got 2 of them against the team that nobody else was able to beat. He got 1 of them against a team that nobody did beat that year until he and the Giants did. And I understand that he had a brutal first half, or the offense did. And I understand that a ball got stuck to a helmet. They won.
Okay.
They won.
And I totally understand that, and I'm not going to take that away from him. What I'm saying is Rodgers, Breeze, Brady, Roethlisberger, Rivers, all these guys are playing well and even better now as they get older.
Right.
Eli is getting worse.
Correct. And it might be a situational where he works for a living, or it might be that he just ran out of gas and he wasn't as good and he did not have the game physically to sustain the way that Rivers and everyone else has. That is entirely possible. And it will be up to people to decide or not. But still, give me the names of those quarterbacks again that you just mentioned.
Brady,
right.
Rodgers, Breeze, Roethlisberger, Rivers.
Okay.
Same age or older.
Take Brady out. Rodgers, 1-1. Rivers has won 0. Ben has won 2. And Breeze has won 1. Eli's won 2. And the Giants fans will never forget it. And in that town, where they're already talking about Sam Darnold as the second coming of Joe Namath, I even saw today, I follow Rich Cimini of ESPN. He's an excellent writer who writes for the Jets. He's talking about, is it the Jets town now? But they're 3-3. Is Sam Darnold making it the Jets town? They're 3-3. And even if it is a Jets town because they have a better record than the Giants, I'm 49. I haven't seen a championship. And the Giants have had, if I'm not mistaken, 4 in my lifetime. 2 with Parcells, 2 with Coughlin. So, Jets town or not, it's still the trophies in the case. And Eli's got 2 of them. And nobody, no matter how he finishes, will take that away. And Giants fans will never forget it. And one day Eli will go back there, bust or not, jacket or not. He'll have his name up in whatever Ring of Honor that's sitting there in MetLife. And that will be forever. And whoever does take over for Eli Manning better answer the bell every single week like he did until McAdoo put Geno in there.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.